wheels on the bus going round and round. Got the wheels on the bus going round and round. Yeah, wheels going round and round. Yeah, and we rolling through your town. Yeah, hey, round and round and round and round and round.
Oh, didn't know my mic wasn't muted. Good morning. Welcome in to
Big grunt call, boy.
another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are your first and your only source for mediocre, inconsistent, below average sports coverage. We are glad you're here with us this morning. My name is Chill. We got Opie in the house. I'm about to hit his intro. Hight's en route. Just a whole mess there.
Why don't you go ahead and hit Adam's intro?
Hey, we'll wait. I'm going to hit it when he comes in. But how to being late. So a lot to talk about. Dodgers fresh off the World Series last night. We got a lot of big college football slate this weekend. So make sure you tune in for the entire show. You don't want to miss it.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest.
He looks like chewed up bubblegum with his shirt off. Nobody dries out a brisket quite like him. The bus crew is his only friends. His head is fat. Golly, I get it wrong. And I'm reading it. His head is small, but his face is fat. The red-headed wonder, y'all. Matt Opie Hightower.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy fall morning to you there, Chill.
I ain't even going to run Hight's intro. I just saw his stupid headlights pulling up.
You know what? I wish we had recorded that phone call we just had with him a little while ago. When we woke him up.
Describe it.
First, it's just sleepy remorse if I had to call it anything. He texted us, so every morning for the show.
Don't clear it up, man.
Excuse me. I almost thought Raji was here the way it just but so Chill will text first name roll call. Who's up? Well, within
and let's discuss the process behind that, because
well, you know what, you're right. That only started because of the lack of dependability that we have with this crew and every crew other than the two of us.
Yep.
And so
that way we avoid having a two-man show. Right. If I hit roll call and I don't get a response, it's we're not
like I could not respond, and he would, and Chill would still know that I'm going to be here.
That's right.
But I think I responded within 10 seconds today.
And Adam within
and then
a short
Adam
amount of time.
comes in, respond.
Wow,
boy, what a face for radio. So
that dude looks like his breath.
look like that Invisalign's too tight over there. But
dude come here looking sad, limping like he's got gout.
It was like, it ain't me, it's my back. It's my back. But so Adam gives us a pretty rambunctious good morning this morning. Like,
welcome to the show, Hight.
Hey, well, welcome, Adam.
We're just discussing how, and we're going to give you an opportunity to weigh in. We tried to wait and start the show. Hold off, because we didn't want to just be me and Opie and lose all the viewers early on. And we said, but at the same time, we don't want to do a 20-minute show, so we had to fire it up. We just fired it up a few minutes ago, and now we're discussing just our whole roll call process. Opie responded, Hight responded, said, what's up, which means, hey, we're ready to go.
And then when we call him to see, hey, how far out are you? He's still at the house. He just woke up. We woke him up. How did that? Walk us through how that went down.
The call he didn't answer woke him up, or something.
That's not true.
No?
How was that even possible?
I don't
called
know.
You back like less than a minute later. I called you right back.
Well, if the phone call woke you up the first one, you can call back in less than a minute. I mean, that's feasible.
Yeah, but I was
that's feasible.
in my truck.
I heard doors shut.
No, you did.
That's crazy.
I was literally backing down my driveway when I called you.
Okay. Well, explain if you don't mind. What?
Because I knew that if
you didn't call until
I was in my truck.
That's why he didn't answer.
Well, I was inside the house. People were sleeping when you called. And I needed to get in my truck. So, yeah, I'm on the way.
Was one of those people you?
No.
So walk us through if you don't mind.
I see the text, and I hit snooze a couple times.
So you respond to the text and then go back to sleep.
With enthusiasm to make us think that you were up and at 'em.
That's how easy I can go
I thought
sleep.
you were whipping up some eggs or something in there.
No, that was my mindset. I was, hey, we ready to go. And then I was like,
deception.
My back hurts real bad.
Oh boy.
And no, that's not why I went back to sleep.
So did an alarm? You set an alarm. You woke up to the alarm, and then you see the roll call text.
4:30 something.
You see the roll call text.
Yeah.
You respond. Mm-hmm. Never turned your alarm off to begin with.
No,
You
right.
got
I
more.
Just hit snooze. Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, well, I'm calling.
And then And then I wake back up at 5, I think. And so then I gotta. But then when I try to get out of bed, and this is slow motion at this point because my back hurts really bad. So I didn't even shower. I showered last night.
Your hair looks sharp.
Well, I got a haircut yesterday, so I had to shower when I got home. So I was like, okay, well,
Got a little something in it this morning, though. A little
I got a
product.
little product. I keep a little
So
product.
he had time for that. Had
Keep
time to
a
run his
product.
hands through it a little bit.
Judio? Did you do a little
Yeah,
deal?
yeah. I mean, I got my morning routine. And it just took me longer.
Got them teeth?
Well, yeah. Well, he took the time to do it because he
No
did
rush.
not he did not run out and get over here. I tell you what, we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to change the process.
Please tell.
He's gonna have to send us a picture of him like holding up. We're gonna tell him how many fingers to hold up,
Each morning.
so he can't fake it, and then maybe hold up a newspaper or something and say, "I'm up. I'm in the closet. The lights on."
You know what I've seen?
That reminds me of a friend of mine when we were on my bachelor party,
Divert.
and and we were gonna go out.
Oh, yeah.
His I won't call the name, but his girlfriend would not let him go, and he told us all he had tummy ache.
He was just tired.
And didn't his girlfriend require proof that he didn't go?
Yeah, she was like, send me a picture in the kitchen, and then she'd say, well, send me a picture on the back porch,
And he was doing it.
and he was doing.
And this dude is one of the biggest partiers out there at the time, and he's like, man, I'm just a little tired. I don't really feel like going out.
Oh, man. Well, Hight, man, we're glad you made it. I sense no remorse whatsoever when I see him come in with his. I mean, no, my bad, for being 20 minutes late.
He can't believe we started without him.
No, I do. I'm sincerely. I apologize.
Shit.
That apology would have got me the first couple times.
This ain't the first time. Is it?
I've been burned too
I
many
usually
times.
beat you here.
That's wild. That is wild that you say that.
Last 2 or 3 times I've been early.
Well, we do thank you for joining us this morning, people and Hight. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Visit www.thebiguglysportshow.com. We got a special guest coming in on third segment.
My back really does hurt real bad.
We'll get a look at that at school. We'll get the nurse look at it.
No, I got a 10 thing. The
Math?
The electrolysis thing.
yeah.
It probably hurt it when he jerked up out of bed when you called him just a few minutes ago. That ain't funny. I don't even like it. That don't even make sense.
He done made
Did
eye
you just look
contact
at
with
the
the
camera?
I looked at the camera.
Dude's breaking the fourth wall over here.
Oh man! All right, let's talk. Let's talk a little sports. Fresh off of last night, the Los Angeles Dodgers are your World Series champions, and so first off, thoughts on that? Freddie Freeman MVP. This is proof that I believe that the 2 highest payrolls in baseball can pay their way to get there and end up buying a ring. What are y'all's thoughts on the Dodgers winning?
I mean, they had the best team. Top to bottom, they had the best team.
Clearly.
The Yankees are kind of quietly a really good team, but they had the best record in the American League.
Quietly, but best record and
Well, it's just not
like second highest payroll.
but it's
Major
not.
League
It's just
Baseball.
not.
Shh, quietly.
It's just not like the Yankees used to be. You remember the Steinbrenner days? I mean, they were going to outspend everybody by $100 million.
Steinbrenner's still on the Yankees.
You're right, but not the Steinbrenner. I
But
mean,
before when he was younger.
yeah. Well, no, it's a different Steinbrenner.
It's his son.
Yeah.
Family.
George passed on.
So I've recently been watching the Netflix documentary about the Red Sox comeback,
It's
and
a great documentary.
so good.
Is it really
So
good?
Yeah.
I'm only halfway through it,
I'm through it.
and
Tell him what happened.
no spoilers. But man, it just reminds me of the heyday of baseball. Back in, I guess maybe it was my heyday of watching baseball. But the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry was so good, and back then it was like Michigan, Ohio State. It was that kind of rivalry back then, and it was an arms race. They were both trying. They both traded for A-Rod. Only one went through. they just kept loading up on people one after another, and they were by far the best two teams in the league, and just awesome matchups every October.
But really, the Red Sox, their lineup was not star-studded like I felt like the Yankees was.
Oh, really?
Other than
you don't consider Johnny Damon, Nomar,
Big Papi.
No, they
Big
traded.
Papi.
They got rid of Nomar.
Yeah, at some point they did. They halfway through the 2004 season they got.
But you also got to remember, Big Papi wasn't like a stud when they got him, and neither was Kevin Millar, Bill Mueller.
You're saying things that are not really. They're not really supporting your argument. First of all, listen to this lineup. You got Johnny Damon.
Now you got Hight scanning the crowd over here.
He's so confused. Where am I at? So you got Johnny Damon. You got Trot Nixon. You got Big Papi. You got Nomar. You got Manny Ramirez. Who else?
I mean, you Veritek. I mean, are you counting them?
No, Veritek wasn't a great hitter, but
Trot Nixon was.
Trot Nixon was a good on base percentage guy. So was Kevin Millar.
And that's what I'm saying. Like all those dudes were like
Doug Mickevich.
They were high on base percentage guys, but they weren't stars like Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Posada.
You had the whole pitch and Pettit and all them.
Yeah, Rivera.
Of course, I mean over there you had Pedro.
Yeah, you're naming basically the same amount of people that's on the Red Sox.
I've already watched the documentary.
I mean, they're comparable teams.
Nah.
Well, weren't we?
That was you.
No, it was not.
One of y'all had some tummy trouble over there.
It might have been me. I don't know.
You look like the guy that would have tummy trouble.
Yeah. So, well, we kind of got off topic
A little bit.
to argue about something that doesn't matter, but
Standard.
yeah. But the Dodgers.
Why are you holding? He's got the mic stand.
I don't know. I don't know.
Getting nervous
It's too
over
low.
there.
It's too low. I need.
It picks you up, I promise.
So
Can we talk about the Dodgers?
yes, the Dodgers. Are y'all upset about Freddie Freeman winning the World Series with somebody else?
I'm happy for Freddie. I genuinely, and it's probably because I got like a sour X in this whole thing, but his emotions and everything don't seem as real as they did in Atlanta. Like
It's like too much.
when he hit, I mean, it looked pure when he was in Atlanta. Like it meant more to him.
It was
than it did
real.
out there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it did mean a lot. I think it's different now. I do think he has finally truly embraced the Dodgers fan base because they have embraced him, but with everything that's going on with his son. But I don't think it's the same as you coming up as a young guy in an organization. They believed in him. They're the ones who drafted him. Like it's different. But I mean that was a. Did y'all see that game, or have you heard about the game? How crazy it was
Last night.
I know they were down 5 runs.
No,
at
yeah,
one point.
they went up home run. The Yankees did, and I think they were up 5-0 until the fifth inning.
Yeah.
They didn't have a hit until the fifth inning, I don't think, and then the Yankees just self-destructed. I mean, absolutely one of the worst innings of baseball in playoff history. They had fly ball or line drive to center field. Aaron Judge just took his eyes off of it and dropped it. Then grounder to shortstop, booted it, or bad throw. Hit the ball to first base, and the pitcher didn't cover. He was just walking off the field because he thought the first baseman was going to cover it himself.
How many did the Dodgers score? They scored
5 runs
in
that
one
inning.
Oh wow!
All unearned, and we can edit that out, right? We can edit that. All unearned, and and then had another
What's that earned?
another issue. Hey, if we had started the show 10, 15 minutes ago, I would have said that right.
I've never heard that he took the on and put it on the end.
It's live radio. Live radio. It's not live, but
Oh man, that's good to
yeah, I mean it was self-destruct. They should have won that game and pushed it to game 6 or game 7, right?
6. It was 3-1.
Yeah, 6, and should have been an interesting narrative around that series of the Yankees coming back. But
I'm gonna go lay down on that couch and hold my microphone. My back is hurting, boy.
You can be all right. Power through, but it's good for you to sit up straight. Height, where you at on it? Good for the Dodgers? I mean, Freddie.
I don't have any hard feelings towards Freddie. But I hate the Dodgers, and I hate the Yankees. So
who you hate more?
So somebody had to win. Might as well be Freddie, huh?
Might as well be Freddie, because I don't really care for anybody on the I just don't have any attachment, I guess, as a sports fan to anybody with the Yankees.
I didn't realize this, but that's his first World Series with the Dodgers that he's won. For some reason, I thought he had already won one with them. But
who?
Freddie. But
second year he's been there.
Seems like longer.
Ain't it second year? Didn't matter.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I read a stat that said, I think the average MLB payroll was like $150 million. And then both of these teams are over $300 million in payroll. And so somebody was making a point that there should be a salary cap.
A hard cap.
And then there should also be a floor. So where teams can't have way too low payrolls.
So 125 to 150, like put parameters on it?
Yeah, a top and a bottom.
Basically make it
minimum and maximum. Yeah.
Like the NFL.
Yeah. And so that would, kind of create parity. But
if that's in place, the Freddie's still in Atlanta.
Probably. And
we're winning the World Series.
I was happy to see Freddie win the MVP. That dude hit five or six games in a row as far as World Series games he
finally ended last night.
I did. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it was
impressive.
But yeah, it was.
So happy for Freddie.
Yep.
Really don't care about the rest of it.
What about before we go to our commercial break? Where you at on the fan that got ejected the day before?
Oh yeah, the fan interference. That guy seems like a good time. Did you see where Gronk said, "Oh, I recognize that guy. He was my buddy in college. He played hockey, and he was." And this is Gronk.
Being serious?
Yeah, and Gronk's saying that guy was an animal. Those hockey guys were insane. And
so basically, Mookie better be glad he didn't go up in them bleachers.
Yeah, and so they interviewed the guy on Barstool. He was like, "Yeah, I've been saying, like, I've been going to those games for forever, and I've always said if I get an opportunity, that's what I'm doing." And he's like, "So I was ready for it. And but he's been banned from Yankee Stadium, but
I just saw where he was banned from Game 5. Is all I saw.
Just Game 5.
That's what I saw.
But so he's had season tickets for like 15 years.
Yeah, I don't think he should be banned. I think that they went too far by ripping it out of his glove
and not letting his hand.
Because there's potential injury, like, depending on how high the wall is and different things, and because they literally grabbed his and held on to him. But I mean, I like that.
If you're a fan and the opposing team is coming over there reaching into your area,
you got to try to get the ball.
Got to knock it out.
I feel like you got to try to catch it. I don't feel like you got the pride.
You definitely. But you will get carried away.
He got emotion. You got time.
All right, so you mean tell me if you're something? This is a crazy analogy because it wouldn't work. But if you're in let's say at a Georgia football game, national championship game, and somehow or another you could impact the game for the Dogs.
Yeah, I'm trying to bat it down though. I don't feel like once he catches it, I'm getting in a wrestle with him to try to get it away from him.
I could see you trying to play DB, get your hand in there and ripping it.
No, over the shoulder. Fitz taught me that. We'll go to him later about that. But on a separate note, I did see, I don't know if it was edited or not in that photo. I hope it wasn't. But did y'all see there's one guy on the wall looking, he's got a Yankee jersey on, he's looking.
He's got a sliding mitt.
He's got the sliding Evo Shield mitt on. Like it's covering his whole hand.
Dude, I hate those sliding mitts. Every kid has to wear. It makes me so mad when a kid wears them in their back pocket out to the field.
Yeah. That's just the world we live in.
Like I don't know why.
My boy doesn't have one.
We don't need that.
He's asked for one, and I told him no.
Jack's been trying to get one for years.
We're overdue for a commercial break, guys. We got to get these sponsors in because we couldn't do it without them. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
In the game of life, your choice of banks can make the difference between a championship performance and a trip to the showers. Since 1905, Bank of Dudley's been Middle Georgia's hometown banking team with a solid roster of banking products offering competitive rates and online services that help you cross your financial goal line. Come experience true relationship banking. Local people, local decisions, local banking. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Dogs.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, located on Highway 80 across from Walmart in Dublin. Coming this fall. I hadn't washed my truck in 6 years. I'm breaking that streak this fall.
And we're back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We've talked the Dodgers and everything that happened there with the World Series last night, and we have a brief segment here. We did start the show late this morning, so we're going to have to shorten it down a little bit. Brief segment here. We're going to talk a little NFL, and then we're going to take our final commercial break, and on the other side, we're going to talk college football, get our picks in for the week, and have our guest picker call in. So, before we go Falcons, let's just talk a little bit about Anthony Richardson. We'll start with him out the gate. Anthony Richardson not starting this coming up week. The Colts have decided to go with Joe Flacco because Anthony Richardson got tired in his last game and tapped out. Where y'all at on that?
Dude, that's crazy.
Unawareness.
Do you come back from that as a quarterback?
If you do, it's a long road.
I mean, he's not going to come back anyway because he was never a very good quarterback. So it was dumb that they drafted him high in the first place. He's just really fast and athletic. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a good quarterback.
Well, the thing about these rookie quarterbacks, these guys that are really good in college or very athletic in college, whatever you want to describe them as, they need to come into the league and sit. They don't need to come into the league and play immediately.
Especially when you're somebody like him who has not really run a pro-style offense. So it is a bad look that, hey, the quarterbacks just don't come out. It's just an unwritten rule of,
God,
just run a handoff. Like
you're not. How do you say you're tired? Like, come up with something better. Make a better ending.
Like this.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean,
so he's
tapped out.
If he couldn't be benched for being tired, it might have been because he's thrown 4 TDs and 7 interceptions.
I mean, that's really the reason.
And a 38
his QBR.
QBR.
Joe Flacco was really good last year for the Browns. So I think they're gonna take the approach of, hey, why don't you sit down and watch how a grown man does it? You know,
how is he tied for 65th with 7 interceptions? Like how?
That may not be correct.
Where's it? I mean, he's behind some people that ain't even played a game. He's behind every quarterback in the NFL. I don't know, but he's terrible. So
the guys that don't have interceptions because they hadn't played,
or maybe if they've gotten a snap, I don't know. Either way, Anthony Richardson out. So staying in the quarterback realm, Hight, Jameis Winston, with all his
dude,
lovely pregame talks and stuff.
I can't understand what's wrong with him. He is a strange individual, but he's also funny. Like, but I can't tell if he's
on purpose or not.
Yeah.
You're laughing, but you don't know if you're laughing with him or not.
Well, I mean, he's gotten hit in the head too many times, and he's just weird, or he's just.
I think he's always been.
He's
like
just
that.
An eccentric individual.
I've never understood why people think. They used to talk about what a good leader he was. And I just like,
but you hear I've heard the NFL locker rooms, they say it. So I mean, there's got to be something to it. And it's funny to me, like he's had all this stuff for so many years, all these stupid, eat that W, all these other things that are going. And then it shows. I saw the other day on ESPN they had he's in there with his quarterbacks for the Browns. As he's starting, he's giving them a pep talk, and I'm thinking, and they're all like, and I'm thinking, how are you not going like trying not to laugh or? Because he even said we're going to go out there and do something. I can't remember what he said. And then it was like, whatever he said couldn't realistically be done. He's like, "No, we can't do that, but we're gonna do it." And they were all like, "Yeah."
They're all just following like little sheep, man. Like they're not thinking independently of how ridiculous all of that stuff is.
But he comes in and plays well and gets the win.
I can tell you where he is. He's starting NFL quarterback with all that, and we sit
That's
at this
true.
table right here. So.
That's true. You remember when he was benched, but then came on out and tried to Jimbo Fisher told him he couldn't dress, and then he came out and did it anyway. He was going to be a leadership moment.
Didn't they make him go take it?
Yeah, he yelled at him, "Get back in there and take them jerseys off."
Oh man. So
That's Raji's boy.
yeah, they're a far cry from that right now. So, but
You know he played baseball at Florida State.
I forgot about that.
Pitcher.
Right fielder as well.
Yep.
So athlete. All right. Oh, how about them Falcons?
Man,
Let's find a way.
I love watching them this year. It reminds me so much of the old Falcons, the not the Dirty Birds, but the Matt Ryan Falcons, where you always had a chance. Your quarterback was gonna lead some drives. They just score touchdowns. That's the bottom line. You're not constantly disappointed because you're just punting, and you feel like you have a chance. And I mean, they're throwing for tons of yards. The offense looks good. What was our number one complaint last year? Why is Bijan not getting the ball? Mm-hmm. And I love Tyler Algiers. I think he's a legitimate 1,000-yard rusher if we gave him the ball enough. And I love the mix. I actually would like to see more Tyler Algier between the tackles. But
I tell you who's fired up every time Atlanta scores and wins? Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Even if he's not.
yeah, I mean, they have a good system. They're running the ball well. They're throwing the ball well. Kirk Cousins came in and has established himself as the guy. And I'm so excited that we have him.
Surely y'all have seen the video where Kirk Cousins is giving them the pregame.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was real. I guess it is.
I don't know, but
Come up in our trap, or we could take your trap.
and then he said no cap.
No cap.
Dude, I love that dude. Seems like
I think that's a song, by the way.
It is.
Okay.
yeah, he just seems to have a figure. Like he knows that he's not that guy, but like people love it because he's so not that guy. But he's just embraced some silliness. Like he doesn't take himself so seriously.
I tell you what he did. He came in and looked horrible against the Steelers, and everybody immediately said, "We've spent $190 million on this clown right here." And ever since then,
I tell you who didn't say that? Big Ugly Sports.
Big Ugly didn't. We believe in Kirk.
What happened versus the Seahawks though? 'Cause it was a smackdown there.
You're going to have some outliers sometimes.
Okay.
The guys around him and whatnot.
Yeah, we got to blame somebody else, not Kirko. Kirko was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week this week, so it's a big shout out to the Falcons. And
Man, that goes to show you how much difference having a quarterback makes. I mean,
What's quarterback league? We all know that.
yeah. I mean,
Desmond Ridder. Why did they draft him?
oh my gosh. It was terrible. Terrible. Thank goodness we got out of that quickly and into the next phase.
But now I'm concerned about our plan after Kirk Cousins.
we got Penix.
I mean, like, so you got Cousins under contract for 3 years.
Well, I don't believe in Penix. I don't think
You're not seeing enough from him right now?
Well, I watched his college games and I didn't. He's got a really strange. He got a really strange
throw motion.
Well, he throws with his left hand. I can see how that would be strange.
Well, no, he doesn't throw like you, like Sissy. But
I do not throw good. That's for sure.
And I just didn't think. To me, he's, he played in Washington, which there's no competition.
You're right. Oh my God, I can't believe he played in Washington.
They don't face good competition.
That's the fact that's your backup to. He played in the national championship game. They didn't play anybody.
Well, and they lost.
Oh man, you are just full of facts that just don't back up anything today. Oh, he didn't play any competition. He played in the national championship. Yeah, but he lost.
You know what I would have felt better about if he'd have played in a tougher league.
He played in the Big Ten.
What?
He played at Indiana.
No, he played at Washington.
He finished at Washington. He played at Indiana for like 3 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Okay, well,
Why am I arguing with somebody that doesn't know anything about college football?
Man, my back hurts. I did forget that he played in the game. I did forget that.
I misremembered.
No, I just completely forgot.
So in his 2 years at Washington, he had 67 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. Threw for
Y'all ever heard of Ryan Leaf?
Threw for almost 10,000 yards.
Y'all heard of Ryan Leaf?
Dude went Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf had an awesome college career. Didn't pan out. There are a lot of quarterbacks.
Thank you.
There
you for
are a
helping
lot
me.
of quarterbacks.
Thank you for supporting my argument.
There are a lot of quarterbacks who have great college careers and then don't
look
go.
Look at Anthony Richardson.
What has Michael Penix done that makes you think he's one of those guys?
I did not like the draft pick. Am I entitled to have my own opinion, Chuck?
Now I can agree with. I wasn't a fan of the draft pick.
Can I have my own opinion?
You just said earlier that you think quarterbacks should sit and learn behind somebody.
Yeah, but I did not like them drafting him.
So you don't think Michael Penix has the ability to be a good quarterback based on his college career?
No, I do not believe that.
So high statistics wins.
High statistics don't necessarily translate.
So high statistics wins and ability to perform well in front of scouts or at the combine are not things that you value in the process of evaluating quarterbacks.
Those are some things that could.
What else would you put in there with it?
My own personal opinion. Just like you have your own idiotic opinions, I got my own idiotic opinions.
Okay.
Is this one of those idiotic opinions?
Well, we'll find out and check back in, I don't know, 3 years.
Okay.
Did you like the draft pick of them drafting him so high?
I would have rather gone a different position, but that doesn't mean that I don't think Penix is going to be a successful quarterback.
And I
do like the process that we have of drafting.
I do like that. I just wish they had done it with somebody else.
Who?
Hey,
Jaden Daniels.
Was he available at that time?
I have no idea.
he had already been drafted.
Yeah.
That's who I want him to do it with.
Should have gone with Caleb
Or
Williams.
they could have held out for Carson Beck.
They should have drafted Peyton Manning.
You got him rattled up. It's time. We got to take a commercial break on this one. So, y'all, let's take our final commercial break. On the other side, we're going to talk college football and get our guest picker. So, y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. It is now time for our Pick'em of the week, and real quick, let me update you on where we stand. Raji, coming off a 3-7 week last week, sits at 38-42 overall. Chill off a 6-4 week last week, sits at 36-44 overall. Hight with a 5-5, Mr. 500 over here, he sits at 42-38 overall, and Opie with a 6-4 record now sits atop with a 43-37 record. So all of us near 500. Opie just on the better side of it. Spanky Slaughter was our guest picker last week. Comes in with a 5-5 record. And so as it sits through our 9 pickers that we have had, 6-4 is still the mark to beat between Rico, Mr. Waldrop, and Josh Cruz. That is our scoreboard. So now it is time for this week's picks, and in honor of it being a Georgia-Florida week, I thought who better than a diehard Florida fan, even though he may not want to admit it right now, and that is my high school baseball coach, former co-worker, Mr. Brian Fitzgerald. Coach Fitz, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Excited to be with y'all this morning.
So we're gonna dive into some picks, but just update us a little bit real quick on, I know you're up at Robert Toombs now and having some success in baseball and softball. Just update us a little bit what's happening around there.
Yeah. Last school year, we won both the softball and baseball state championships in single A at Robert Toombs, and this fall, just unfortunately, last week we fell a little short over at the state championships in Columbus and finished third in single A, and starting to get prepared, Chuck. I do a bunch of football and basketball refereeing. So we're getting prepared for basketball season to crank up, and also starting to, prepare to do 1-on-4s for baseball. So, staying busy, raising a family, got a bunch of kids and foster kids, and, got exciting news as my oldest daughter, Bryson, has announced that she's pregnant. So
let's go.
A lot of stuff going on, and busy and happy.
That's good stuff there, Fitz. What you got for him, Hight?
Fitz, I just want to tell you, hey, buddy, to tell you I missed you and happy to have you on the show this morning.
Man, Hight, I couldn't believe when I heard the record right there. 5-5 last week at 500, man. That's you're doing it. You're really.
Hey, if I can just be middle of the road my whole life, I'll be all right.
Hey, you did better with your wife. That was a lot better in the middle of the road.
Yep, sure did. Thank you.
I was wrong. I thought she'd leave you.
Well, you never know it'll work out, Fitz. You never know, bud.
I guess you're better looking than I thought.
He's got a good personality.
He does that. He's the best.
Fitz, you just need to. I was thinking, since y'all didn't win in softball, you probably should have took him out there and did the old base run and conditioning drill we used to do, where we get on the bases and you have to toe over and you get banged if you don't. You remember that was the one time in my high school career I about quit a sports team.
We almost had us a fight that day between the player and the coach. Yeah, we call it the bang drill, and it's a little bit funnier. It's a little bit funnier at softball practice when you start yelling, "You got banged."
Can carry a different meaning.
The eyebrows go up, and people start laughing a whole lot more about it.
Oh man, that's good. All right, let's dive into some picks. Opie, we'll lead out with you right here. And Fitz, I know you probably don't know Opie, but that's Hightower's older brother. He is a member of the bus crew. So, Opie, we'll start Ohio State -3.5 at Penn State.
So I started looking into this game, and they're remarkably similar in offensively and defensively. They're ranked very close to one another. Penn State puts up more yards and points than I had thought they do. 3.5 is kind of right on that line, but I'm going to go with Ohio State because I think they've been in a battle with Oregon, and Penn State has been untested so far.
Hi.
I'll go Ohio State as well. I do not believe in James Franklin. Even though it is a home game for Penn State, I'm still going to take Ohio State to cover.
Yeah, I'm never a believer of Penn State. I can't stand Ohio State, but I do think they're more talented, and I do think Happy Valley will be rocking, but give me Ohio State to cover. What about you, Fitz?
Well, I don't think James Franklin's record's been very good against Ohio State or Michigan. He beats everybody else, but what's he like, 1-17 in his time at Penn State against the other two? But I think this weekend is his weekend. I'm going to take Penn State at home.
You got him for the outright. What you calling the outright win?
I don't know about that, but 3.5. I think they're going to cover that.
Okay.
Yeah, they could definitely win it.
All right, Hight. You got Duke plus 20.5 going over to Miami, down to Miami.
I don't typically like to take Miami with giving up that many points, but I'm going to get against my instincts and my normal picks here, but I'll take Miami to cover.
Miami. It comes to an end. I'm calling a Duke upset this week.
Now, is this because you played with them on NCAA?
I played with them on NCAA. I know kind of what they got, but no, I think Miami's going to overlook them. I do think Miami is very good, but I think they have a setback this week, and I think Duke obviously covers, but I'm calling Duke with outright win. This is my, what do they call it on
Super Dog?
Game Day? My Super Dog right here. Oh, what you got?
Judging by how I've seen Duke play with you in that dynasty, they ain't got what it takes to beat Miami. Miami's number one in the country in points scored. I thought that was a lot of points considering Duke's only lost 2 games. But when you look at the points per game Miami has versus Duke, they're just 2 very different football teams. Duke's been very lucky with turnovers that has kept them in ball games.
That's part of the game.
Can I have my pick?
You can, but that's part of the game.
You still mad about the
Continue on. You wasting time.
So Miami, I got Miami.
What about you, Fitz?
I'm going to take Duke here. I think 20 points would be will be hard for Miami right here. Although you're right. I mean, there's what are they scoring 50 again? And I like this here too. Not to win though.
Okay. All right, Fitz, lead us back off right here. We've got Oregon minus 14.5 at Michigan, and this isn't the same Michigan of old, but it's still Michigan. So what you got?
Well, I really like Oregon. I mean, I thought Dylan Gabriel was going to be a difference maker for them this year. And, he came out to shoot first game and didn't really look very good, but has certainly picked it up since then. But I think 14 is going to be a lot to cover in Michigan, despite the fact they lost the house. I like Michigan with the spread here.
All right, go blue. Oh,
I got Oregon by 3 touchdowns or more. They are going to walk the dog on Michigan.
Hey, I like that. I'll take Oregon as well.
who's that? Hey.
Yeah, I feel, when you start picking and you're picking the favorites on all these games, I feel like that's not going to work out in my favor. But
you hear that lisp?
Yeah, that Invisalign tray's getting me. But yeah, I'm gonna take Oregon to cover here.
Yeah, give me Oregon as well. I think Dan Lanning will have them queued up. I think their defense will stymie Michigan, and I think their offense can score. So I don't think 2 touchdowns would be a problem. Hight, we got Pitt plus 7.5 at SMU.
I'm gonna take the favorite.
And I know
again.
this is not a game we would normally talk, but it's a top 25 matchup. So
yeah, I like SMU at home to cover that.
Oh,
I'll go SMU.
Okay, yeah, I'll go SMU as well. I think they cover. Rhett Lashley and the gang. I don't know anything about Pitt, but
who picked this game?
They have
it's top 25. I mean, we could have got some terrible teams. You just be quiet. All right, Fitz, who you got?
It's same for me, guys. SMU. I mean, if they don't turn it over 6 times last week, I would they score 100 in that game against Duke. I mean, good lord. Well, I know Pitt's undefeated, but that's over this weekend.
Yep. All right, the last one. Opie, we'll lead out with you here. You got the Dogs minus 16.5 versus Florida. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Opie, who you taking?
Got him Dogs.
All right.
Yep. So I really think that obviously Georgia has a better roster. And Fitz, I like to hear your take on this too, but I think this is one of the kind of one of the final games that Billy Napier is going to be coaching in Florida. I just that he for whatever reason he hasn't been able to be successful down there, and I don't think it starts today or Saturday. So I'll take Dogs big.
This is to me a scary game for Georgia. They're both in similar situations. Florida's going through a gauntlet right now of a schedule. Georgia, obviously, with Ole Miss and Tennessee on the horizon. So I think it's going to be much easier for Georgia. This will be more of a trap game for Georgia. I think it will be easier for them to overlook. Whereas Florida, granted, they got more competition ahead. This game's going to mean more to them because they can beat Georgia, and that would just hold a lot more weight. But if this wasn't a Georgia-Florida situation, if this was 2 other teams, I'd probably go with the underdog. But I got to go with Georgia here to cover. But and Fitz, as Hight alluded to, I'm interested to hear your take on who you think will win, and then also parlay that into where you're at on Napier. Is he gone this year? Does he need to win X amount of games, or what you got?
Well, I would say as a guy who's been a Florida fan since I can remember, is Napier's done a good job at a number of things. I mean, if he was considered the general manager, I would think that you would say he did a great job there. I mean, what he's brought, in terms of the football operations department, the revamping of some of the things that are important to players, that were probably started amongst the Dan Mullen area or even before that, but he got to see them to fruition there with the Hebner Center. I mean, I think as an overall CEO, I think he's done a really good job. But as a head coach, as a fan, I've been disappointed by how we started the last 2 seasons. What we looked like going out there, like we weren't even practicing before we got started. So I think he's gone. That being said, but I think he's done a good job with with talent acquisition, and I think he's done a good job of building the NIL program and putting the things in place at Florida that are needed. That being said, I mean, Florida's going to lose the game, no doubt. But with Lackway at quarterback, Florida has shown some big play capability. And starting out with a 17-point lead, that's not going to be that easy for Georgia to run down, as Florida's defense has been playing better as of late. Just the number of starters that are out for Florida's defense in the secondary is concerning to me. With that really kind of, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but maybe the second best quarterback in college football this year. I don't know. I'm going to take Florida. Not to win the game, obviously, but to handle 17 points.
Do you think Napier's gone at the end of the year, or do you think he's gone sooner than that?
I think they're going to see him through to the end. I mean, what's the point of firing him? Before it's over. I mean, what are you going to gain that perspective? And on top of that, I mean, the guys they're talking about they want to get. I mean, shoot, it'll be January before they could even think about hiring some of the 5 people that they're talking about. Although I think it'd be cool to see Nick Saban in the Florida Gator shirt.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be.
That I would love to see that too. That would be really entertaining.
All right, Fitz. Well, hopefully you can atop the 6-4 mark that has been set before you and overtake that. But we do appreciate you hanging out with us this morning.
Thanks for having me. I wish I'd had more time to really look into it. So if I go 2-8 this week, that'll put me at the bottom of rankings, and I'll never get an invite back. So.
Well, we'll blame Adam. We'll blame Adam on that.
I appreciate your time, Fitz. Though we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See ya.
See you, brother.
No, it sounded like some solid takes. I don't know.
Coach Brian Fitzgerald.
Is it because he's a Yankee? He sounds so sharp to me. Like it's got to be.
Man, it's just.
And it's also the way he carries himself. Very. Kind of direct, I guess.
Listen, I could tell so many stories about playing for him, man. Golly,
I enjoyed working with him the 3 years I was down there.
He's
a good time.
He's a different dude now than he was when he coached. He was in his 30s when I was playing baseball, and man, he was rough. He was a big baseball guy. I mean, played at Bruton Parker, caught there, won national championship, did all this stuff. But he's like he believes in, I'm not going to say the baseball gods, like the rules of baseball and not messing those things up. And we'll get off there shortly. But I can remember we had a big game against, it was against Metter, and Metter was good at the time. And Jared Allen was one of our pitchers, and Jared had beaten him earlier in the year. And so Jared was queued up to play again, to pitch again. We're playing him at home. And Fitz, you did not play catch in front of the dugout. Like that was a written rule. Like you threw down the line, or obviously if you were taking fielding practice, you're in the field, but you didn't stand anywhere in front of the dugout and play catch. And pregame, Fitz is up there lining home plate or doing something like that, and Jared Allen is playing catch in front of the dugout. And Jared sails the ball over the guy he's throwing to, and it hits Fitz at the plate. Now this is an hour before first pitch, hour and a half. He sends him home. In the car, parents come get him, send him home for playing catch in front of the dugout. Like, it was stuff like that all the time, man. I could tell so many good stories, but, man, he's a great guy and a good mentor. So, any closing thoughts, fellas? This time we ended up going with a long show, but
so I would like to say, well, do I have like 10 seconds?
10.
All right, so
9.
The SEC is kind of crazy right now. If everybody wins out and A&M beats Alabama, and then Texas beats A&M, then Georgia could be ranked number 1, number 2 in the country and not be in the SEC championship.
That's a perfect scenario, isn't it? I mean, we want an SEC title.
We would love to, but you still get a home game first round. Could be interesting. SEC.
That's it, baby. Bring us home, Hight.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yep, we appreciate all of our sponsors: Bank of Dudley, Brian's Giant Subs, Elite Comfort Solutions, Big Peach Car Wash, and everybody else. So just thank you for what you do. Wherever you're at today, whatever you're doing, tell them what to do, Hight.
Get on that bus.
Got the wipers on the bus going swish, swish, swish. Got the wipers on the bus going swish, swish,